So if you are a casual fan of Dragon Ball and you went to go see Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F in theaters, you may not have known who Jaco the Galactic Patrolman was, the alien who fought alongside the Z Fighters against Frieza's soldiers, and you probably have no idea that Bulma actually has a sister, and she was mentioned in Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Bulma's sister, Tights. Hey Super Tubers, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and spread the word about the channel, and find me on these social media platforms. So a lot of people were probably wondering, if Bulma has a sister, where the hell was she in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z? I don't remember Bulma's sister in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, or in the manga. Well, the answer is she wasn't there. The story of Bulma's sister was told in Akira Toriyama's mini manga series from 2013 entitled Jaco The Galactic Patrolman. And the answer is that she was created in 2013 and was never mentioned prior because Toriyama had not thought up the character. A lot of the Dragon Ball community really has a problem with this because the explanation about the whereabouts of Tights is never really given anywhere, and Bulma never even mentions even remotely having a sister in any of the material prior to Jaco. The fact that Tights was never mentioned really screams the word retcon, but that's neither here nor there. We do know that Tights is older than Bulma by a few years, and unlike Bulma, she did not want to follow in her father's footsteps of being a brilliant scientist, but rather wanted to become a science fiction author and write stories, kind of like George McFly. The events in Jaco the Galactic Patrolman take place roughly 10 years before the first chapter of Dragon Ball. In age 739, Jaco arrives on Earth and crash lands his ship and meets the old man Omori. Omori agrees after some run-ins with the FBI, or the Dragon World version of what the FBI is. Omori agrees to help Jaco repair his ship by going into the city to get parts. When Jaco and Omori arrive in East City to get these parts, they encounter a girl named Tights who is being mugged, and Jaco, of course, becomes the hero and saves her. She then quickly discovers that Jaco is not of this earth, and of course Omori tries to hide that, saying he's just a foreigner, but she's pretty smart and doesn't fall for that BS. Omori notes that Tights' name sounds like it's from the Western region or the Western capital, which of course fits with the pun of all of Bulma's family members, such as Dr. Briefs and of course Bloomers, which is her, and Trunks. They're all named after underwear. Sometime later, we discover that Tights is in fact a body double for pop idol An Azuki. And it turns out that there is a publicity stunt being planned where An Azuki will be on a rocket into space. But since the record label did not want to risk the possible injury or death of the real An Azuki, Tights would be the one whose life was at risk. So Omori finally finishes fixing Jaco's ship, but all that was needed was something called the Sky Gold. Tights arrived and holds a small box out to Jaco, and it turns out it's a thank you gift, which is 3 million yen's worth of Sky Gold. Unfortunately, this was not enough Sky Gold to repair Jaco's ship. We do find out that the reason why Tights was able to afford this Sky Gold, though, was because she was the body double, and she was paid handsomely to risk her life so that An Azuki wouldn't die. So as you can expect, the rocket malfunctioned, and it was up to Jaco, the Galactic Patrolman, to save the day, and he certainly did, saving the life of Tights. As a thank you, Tights calls her father Dr. Briefs, the richest man in the world and one of the most brilliant scientists ever, and Dr. Briefs shows up with Tights' little sister Bulma, who at this point was only 5 years old but was a genius. And, of course, the genius Bulma finishes the repairs on Jaco's ship, thus allowing him to leave Earth with no problem. Tights, of course, insisted that Jaco take her into space to go on some adventures, and we can only wonder what kind of crazy stuff Jaco and Tights saw in space. 10 years pass, and in the closing moments of the Jaco comic, Omori shares that Tights indeed did get to live her dream and become a science fiction writer, publishing her first novel, Jaco the Space Police, which unfortunately was a dud. He also narrates the fact that Tights' sister Bulma, now 10 years older, visited the island to try to get more information on the mysterious orbs that can grant any wish when brought together, and she's already got 2, and thus the story of Dragon Ball begins. So where the hell has Tights actually been? Well, we really don't know. In Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, Jaco tells Bulma that Tights is the one who told Jaco that Bulma was friends with the fighters who defeated Frieza. So that implies that somehow Tights knew about all of the events on Namek. Was she in contact with Bulma the entire time? That appears to be the case. Was she spying on them? I really don't know. It's very, very strange, and there really is not enough of a clear explanation in any of the material to tell us where the hell Tights was, but it really does seem like she was in contact with Bulma at one point or another. But again, we never see her in any of the Dragon Ball material. Maybe Dragon Ball Super will offer up an explanation, but most likely not. Hey, that's all I know for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you down the road.